Hey guys, good morning. Welcome into the show today. We're ready to rock and roll. 6:05 is our time. Happy Thursday. I continue to be live in South Carolina. We are glad that you're with us today. Lots to get to as always. This is Arch City Now. Vic Faust, producer Joe alongside Pro Joe as well. If you want to join the show, you know what to do. You listen to us on the radio side, luinfo.com. Once again, luinfo.com, where you can stream everything, but also you can watch us on X and YouTube. Once again, you watch us on X and YouTube at Arch City Now. It's nice to have the sun out, but once again, it was another scorcher in St. Louis yesterday. Heat indices over 100, roads buckling because of the heat, people trying to stay cool. I don't know how everybody was outside able to do it last night. The Cardinals were at Busch, St. Louis City SC. They were at home hosting Orlando. There were people out. There were people at the ball game. There were people at the soccer game. There were people out and about just trying to enjoy life. But man, oh man, oh man, oh man, we've been talking about the heat. That's for sure. So we got another. I said we got another hot day throughout the St. Louis area. 96 degrees, the high, heat index over 100. But it is that time of year. We knew that this was going to hit. We don't have any relief for quite some time, maybe till next week, but it is what it is. We continue on here with everything about St. Louis. We focus on you, the stories, the communities, what's happening, what's making news, what are people talking about in the St. Louis area. That's when we love it, when you guys jump in the chat line as well. You know what you can do there. X and YouTube, Arch City Now. You can jump in on the chat line, say hi. Let us know where you are. Let us know what's happening in your neck of the woods. And of course, we'll continue to bring up the ideas and the stories that you guys have. We appreciated Donna yesterday. She also emailed us. You can email us, archcitynow@gmail.com. Once again, archcitynow@gmail.com. We're live Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Hot Take Central follows us. From 8 to 10 a.m., the former St. Louis Blue Cam Jansen, and of course, St. Louis Cardinals broadcaster Jim the Cat Hayes, bringing you the latest as well. Okay, if you want to know more about what we do every day, of course, you can go to luinfo.com. It's a rundown of all the shows that are happening. And, maybe you'll find something you like. We do a lot of niche programming as well. And we like to focus on positive as much as we possibly can. All right, we got a lot of sports today that we'll be getting into. Talk about the Cardinals last night. Obviously, they lost. No sweep coming down, but they really, really, really need a win today to take 3 or 4 from the Cubs and get back in action from that standpoint. St. Louis City was in action last night. We'll get into them. They lost. John Gruden was in town yesterday, the former NFL coach, Super Bowl winning NFL coach, broadcaster, kind of a quirky. He loves St. Louis, man. He loves everybody. He loves the Cardinals. He loves the Blues. That became apparent during the playoff run. So he was in St. Louis yesterday. He threw out the first pitch. He also checked out some of that new Blues gear, the new logos, the sweaters, and so forth. We've got video from that as he was at the ballpark last night to talk about as well. The NBA draft's going on. Couple U of I, Illini basketball players drafted last night. A possible Missouri player could be drafted tonight. 2 of them, as a matter of fact, Tamar Bates, Caleb Grill. Also, Caleb Love, the former CBC St. Louis standout. He has an outside shot of getting drafted in the second round tonight. We can focus on that as well. We'll talk about that. Lots of news. The Andrew Bailey, Attorney General from Missouri, filed the paperwork to oust the St. Louis Sheriff. St. Louis Sheriff standing his ground. He has a former judge as his attorney. I don't know how that's going to end, but both were talking to local news media yesterday. We'll get into that situation as well. Lots of headlines, some good news. Urban Chestnut has new ownership, new restructuring, the 4th largest beer brewer in the St. Louis area. So that's good there, positive from that standpoint. We've got ideas what to do for the 4th of July. If you haven't put plans together yet, some of those things are that you can do in the St. Louis area. Another popular restaurant opening up on the Illinois side. We can get into that. For whatever reason, I've had situations with pets and shelters having a bunch of issues as of late. And one of these shelters has, and I mean, just an incredibly high amount of pets. So they're offering dogs, that is, they're offering a terrific price for people who want to come and adopt because they can't house all the dogs that they have right now. So we'll bring you that as well. More help is here for tornado victims. Some concerts, some benefits that are happening. We'll continue to hand those out. We'll follow your lead, and of course, we always love it when you guys jump in and give us ideas to talk about. These are the things that we'll try to do. We've also got video. I mean, people do some of the most bizarre things, and we focus on St. Louis. It was a news story. Video of a guy in the Central West End throwing rocks into a business because he was upset at his girlfriend. Keep the emotions in check with the girlfriend at all costs. Another story from a Walmart parking lot. So yeah, you see lots going on. And as always, we want your stories. You can email us, archcitynow@gmail.com, or jump in on the chat on this Thursday morning at 6:11. Once again, it is going to be a hot one in St. Louis. Heat indices over 100. And whenever these things happen, you know it's coming. You know it's summer, but it's not just St. Louis. We brought this up yesterday. I told you I'm in the Myrtle Beach area, and their temperatures, 97 heat indices over that. They're not used to that. The heat's not just in St. Louis; it's everywhere, and it can be oppressive. It can wear you out. That's why we say hydrate. People know that. It's like, oh, I'm fine. And then you don't start to feel very well. If you're not feeling that great, a lot of times it can be hydrating from that standpoint. We love it when you guys like, subscribe, share the show. Let people know what we've got going on here on this show that's all about St. Louis. We focus on what's good, what people are talking about, and what's happening throughout the entire area. All right, we jump in with the Cardinals from last night. Okay, they had a chance to take the first 3 games of the series, but it was not to be. I told you yesterday I was worried about this. The Cubs sent a really good pitcher to the mound, one of the better pitchers in the National League, and he only gave up 3 hits. The Cardinals only had 4 hits the entire night. They get shut out, 8-zip, 4 hits on the night. They lose 8-0, of course, but they had already been on a nice hot streak. They've won 7 of their last 10. Cubs win. Cubs are now 3.5 games ahead of the Cardinals. So they play an all-important 4th game. The Cardinals really need to take this game today. You don't want to split a series when you're up to nothing. Also, you don't want to go back and be 4.5 games behind the Cubs again as they leave. If the Cubs win today, they pretty much win the series because they leave town with that same 4.5 game lead. First pitch, 1:15. Yes, we already know it's going to be hot. It's going to be humid. It might be oppressive, but you do everything you can to stay cool, dress for the occasion, knowing that if you're going to the game, you're going to sweat. It's Busch Stadium. It's the summer. It's a day game. It'll be in the 90s. So do your best with that, but try to support the Cardinals if you are going down there. And of course, hydrate from that standpoint. So what you have with St. Louis looked like one of those times. It was an off night. It was not going to happen. You just knew something was not going to be there. So it is what it is. The other standpoint last night, St. Louis City SC, with one of those hot nights, they were packed. People in St. Louis were getting out. They end up losing that game 4-2. But once again, the heat was oppressive, the humidity. When you go out, you're going to sweat. I started thinking about what was going to happen when it came to those guys running around. I mean, it's a different situation than playing a baseball game. Yeah, baseball, you're out there, you're sweating too, but soccer, you're running your fanny off. But they lost last night 4-2 to the Orlando City. Now you have a situation where St. Louis City, it's been a rough year. We know that. After last night, they're just 6. Once again, it hasn't been the kind of year that we hoped, but it's never too late to get things going. Klaus had another goal last night. We'll show you that and coming up as well. But you just want to wish the best for this team, for the Cardinals, and we're glad that a lot of people were up and out and about last night throughout the St. Louis area. Enjoying summer. Summer's here. I mean, we're not all that far away from the 4th of July and some of those festivities in the weekend, what we'll be talking about as well. And of course, we were talking about the NBA draft. It's interesting because, Jack Achusis, Will Riley from Illinois last night, they were drafted 20th to Miami, 21st to Utah in the NBA draft. Of course, a lot of Illini fans throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area and in the Metro East. Mizzou's Tamar Bates is listed as the 33rd best available player right now, by the way. There's 30 teams that pick tonight. That doesn't mean he won't make an NBA team if he's not drafted, but it just shows he could go. His teammate from last year, Caleb Grill, the sharpshooter from three-point land, he's listed as the 37th best available. And then Caleb Love, who had just an unbelievable high school career in the St. Louis area out of CBC, he's at Arizona, or at least he finished up at Arizona. He's the 39th best available player. At least that's what's predicted. So any one of those three players could go in the second round, be drafted in the top 30. If they are, or even if they aren't, it doesn't guarantee that they're going to make the team or not make the team. It just shows that they've got a shot to be drafted and hear their name called tonight and see if they can fit any of these teams in the NBA for what they want to do moving forward. So can't wait for that. We'll see what we can do. It'd be nice to see a couple Mizzou guys go. A couple Illinois guys went already. And we'll be following that. And of course, maybe have that on the show tomorrow. Let us know what's happening in your neck of the woods. The show's about you guys. We do headlines and we'll do lots of stuff all throughout the show when it comes to news making headlines throughout the St. Louis area. And of course, we love it when you guys get involved and tell us what you want to hear about, what you see. And we like to give shout outs to people as well, shout outs to businesses, people making a difference. We'll be talking about a concert that's scheduled for this Sunday to help St. Louis tornado victims. Massive. I think it's over 100 singers are scheduled for the Fox. That's scheduled for Saturday, with all the money going to St. Louis tornado victims. And money will be given to the Urban League to take care of. Michael McMillan and crew do a phenomenal job at helping out in St. Louis as best as they possibly can with everything, not just tornado victims, but whatever. When there's needs in the community, they meet it. They go out, they find what they can possibly do. Okay. In our next break, we're going to show you this. John, stick around. John Gruden video from St. Louis, checking out Blues gear, throwing out the first pitch from last night. We'll also get into Attorney General Andrew Bailey versus Alfred Montgomery. Now, Andrew Bailey was asked to come in and take care of business, so he's gotten involved. He's filed paperwork. This is going to go on for quite some time. This doesn't appear to be ending anytime soon, and it's another talk about. And of course, it was a national story, as well as I said it would be yesterday. And you just wonder, how long will it go? How much news coverage will it get? And something did show that Andrew Bailey have a card of leave to play when it comes to ousting St. Louis City Sheriff. So we'll get into all that, plus a whole lot more, plus take your story ideas. We're just getting started on a Thursday morning. So glad you're joining us here for Arch City Now. I'm Vic Faust, Projo's alongside. Once again, you can watch us on X and YouTube at Arch City Now. You can stream us on YouTube. You can also stream us at luinfo.com. We are your information station. We're live and on demand at luinfo.com. Back with more Arch City Now after this.
She's interviewed over 17,000 authors, athletes, actors, entrepreneurs, and more. Tune in late nights at 11 p.m. for America Tonight with Kate Delaney, only on the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at luinfo.com. The Lou Information Station. Yeah, we're a talk station, but not your daddy or granddaddy or great-granddaddy's talk station. We're the new kids on the block. No, not those new kids, just regular new kids. Anyway, the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 online at louinfo.com. And we actually know what all of that means.
Summer in St. Louis means one thing: Cardinals baseball. It's more than a game. It's an STL tradition. The crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, the boom of the firework. It's the soundtrack to summer for Cardinals Nation. So grab your cap and glove and take your spot in the stands, because in St. Louis, baseball is more than a melody. It's our favorite song.
This is former Cardinal and Navy Lieutenant Mitch Harris. Salute those who serve. Join the Cardinals on Friday, July 11th for Military Appreciation Night, presented by Boeing. With a special themed ticket, fans will take home an exclusive Cardinals 40-ounce tumbler, honoring all 6 military branches. Arrive early for a powerful pregame concert by the U.S. Air Force Band on the Budweiser stage. And best of all, a portion of each ticket benefits USO Missouri. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/state. St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
This is your louinfo.com news update. Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey has filed a lawsuit to remove St. Louis Sheriff Alfred Montgomery from office for several reasons. Among them, hiring his brother to serve as deputy sheriff, illegally arresting St. Louis Jail Commissioner Tammy Ross, and for failing to transport inmates for critical medical and mental health treatment. The sheriff said previously he's not going anywhere. 55-year-old Shauna Thomas has been identified as the woman who died in her place at Cypress Village Apartments at Cabana Park. There are reports she had no air conditioning or water service for 3 days during sweltering heat. Residents have complained that management has been hard to reach. Well, now is the time to apply to be part of deer hunts in Missouri. Hunters can apply in July for 145 managed hunts with the goal of controlling populations. You can apply for one deer hunt each year with the Missouri Department of Conservation. Several hunts are happening in St. Louis County. Results of the drawing between August 15th and January 15th. For the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com, I'm Jen Austin.
Here's your louinfo.com weather update. Another heat advisory today. Very hot and humid. We're headed for the mid-90s. Our heat index about 105. We will have some sunshine, but an afternoon shower may pop up along with thunderstorm or two. A few showers this evening, partly cloudy overnight, upper 70s, hot, sunny, and humid on Thursday. We're in the mid-90s. Heat index 105. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton for the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Hey everyone, Cam Jansen here to tell you about the experts at Fast Signs in Earth City. Fast Signs can handle any and all of your business visibility needs, from traditional signs and graphics to digital to core graphics and anything in between. Fast Signs in Earth City has you covered. The station uses them, the Blues use them, and you will love the work they do. Call 314-344-4400 for your custom signage needs today. That's Fast Signs in Earth City, 314-344-4400.
Is diabetes keeping you from enjoying life's special moments? At US Med, we understand the challenges you face, and we're here to help.
With US Med, I can finally manage my diabetes without it managing me.
US Med offers a wide range of services to simplify your diabetes care. Personalized care plans, convenient access to cutting-edge diabetes tech, and knowledgeable support. Plus, we'll check your insurance so your diabetes care may be covered at little or no cost to you.
With US Med, I feel confident and control of my diabetes. I can finally live my life to the fullest.
Don't let diabetes hold you back. Choose US Med and experience better birthdays, better adventures, better anniversaries, and better everything. Call now. US Med. Better service, better care. 800-891-6335. 800-891-6335. 800-891-6335. That's 800-891-6335.
Who needs a vacation? Are you ready for an unforgettable getaway? Start packing your bags, because Branson, Missouri, the vacation and entertainment capital of the U.S., is calling your name. For just $99 per person, here's what you get. A full 3-day, 2-night stay in a luxury resort hotel, a delicious full breakfast buffet every morning you're here, and when you call right now, free show tickets worth up to $100. That's right, free show tickets to an award-winning show on us. You don't have to leave the country for an amazing vacation. You can drive or fly to Branson and have an incredible time. Whether you bring in the whole family family, or just planning a romantic escape, this trip is built for you. We guarantee you'll love Branson. This is not a timeshare. It's just an unbeatable vacation deal for only $99 per person. You book now, you can use your tickets anytime this year. You don't even know your travel dates to lock in the special price. Hurry, because this offer won't last long. Call our Branson vacation experts today.
800-497-7198. 800-497-7198. 800-497-7198. That's 800-497-7198.
Back to more of Arch City Now with Vic Faust on the Lou Information Station. Streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to the show. Arch City Now. Vic Faust here alongside Pro Joe in the house as well. Still live, coming to you from South Carolina, just south of Myrtle Beach. They actually call it Surfside. So had a trip planned. We've been here this week giving you the best technology that we possibly can. We back in studio on Monday where things look and sound a whole lot better. With us, Pro Joe in studio, making sure things look and sound as good as it can. Pro Joe alongside this morning. Did you beat the heat yesterday, my friend? You stay inside a lot. We like to bring you into the show and let people know you're there because Pro Joe will jump in on the show occasionally. He's not a guy that loves the camera, but I force him to be on camera.
Yeah, I stayed indoors. I actually took my dog to have surgery and then did a bunch of work from home while he was having surgery. Yeah.
What kind of surgery?
Well, it was a neutering. However, there was other complications with it. So yeah. He had.
There's always complications in a neutering.
Right. He had to have it done. I tried to avoid it. Let me tell you.
No, I get it. There's a lot of great vets throughout the St. Louis area too. There really are. You brought up the your dog from that standpoint. I'll just bring it up. The Animal Protection Association, they're in Brentwood. They do a phenomenal job. We're talking about dogs. They have over 100 dogs right now up for adoption. That's way more than they can handle. And we love dogs on the show. We love our animals. We love our pets. We have a heart for the pets as well. They've got I call it an incredible option. They're offering their dogs up. Listen to this, Pro Joe. Adoption for just $25, all fees included. They're microchipped. You get a leash and a bag of food to boot. How about that?
All the shots too?
I'm assuming all the shots. It didn't say shots, but I'm assuming release a dog without the shots.
Yeah, I would think so.
If anybody knows, feel free to let us know. Yeah, I thought that's what they do. The last dog that I got, she had all of her shots.
Yeah,
but anyway, you brought up your dogs, and that was one of the stories I was going to talk about. We love it when you guys jump in on the chat line as well. Arch City Now. What's up, bud?
Oh, I was just going to say, I have a picture of him really mad at me.
Oh, pop up the picture. We love your dog, and I know I remember. I liked his name. I can't remember. Once you pop up the picture,
Darth Vader.
What's his name?
Darth Vader.
Darth Vader.
Yeah, he was gifted to me. I did not.
I'm on a delay here in South Carolina, so I'm assuming that you have the picture up right now.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
so I want people to see Darth Vader. Even though I can't see Darth Vader, I know what Darth Vader looks like. Was this Darth Vader after you neutered him or before?
This is him with the cone of shame. He's mad, big mad.
Oh. I love it, my friend. Darth Vader. He hasn't come into the studio. You got to bring him into our studio.
I will, yeah.
I love it. The picture, by the way, the picture just hit me right now. That picture just hit me. Just so people know, Darth Vader. That's a cute little dog. By the way, this is Arch City Now. You guys can join us on YouTube and X at Arch City Now. You can also email us. Story, do that as well. archcitynow@gmail.com. Once again, archcitynow@gmail.com. And that's exactly where you can jump in on the chat line on X and on YouTube at Arch City Now. Join the conversation. Michael says, good morning. Michael, thanks again for listening. Appreciate it. Thanks for liking, subscribing, sharing the show. We also have a phone number that you guys can give us a call if you want to jump in on the show as well. Projo runs that as well. We get that number out. It's 855-282 and then 8255. 855-282-8255. If you want to jump on the show, we'll get you in. And of course, if you want to join us video link, let us know on the chat line and we'll send you the link so you can talk with us as well. We talked about the Cardinals in the first break. I love the fact that former NFL coach and Super Bowl winning coach John Gruden loves St. Louis sports teams for whatever the reason. But he promotes St. Louis all over the country. I mean, whether you're a sports fan or not, he's a public figure and he brings a lot of positivity to our region, to our city, which we talk about a lot. Gruden, for whatever reason, became a Blues fan, and he was showing up at some playoff games and doing promotional videos for the Blues during their playoff run this year. Well, yesterday he showed up at Enterprise to get some new swag that the Blues unveiled, of course, their new logo, their new sweaters, their new merchandise. And here's John Gruden. And Projo, you can keep me posted on that.
One thing I have become
here he is
very
talking
good at is
pulling out the gear
box.
that he got.
This is the St. Louis Blues, NHL, my favorite team. Woo! And in this box, oh my goodness, would you look at this hat? Would you look at this, Jake? Look at this hat right here. Is that nice? Does that have you feeling nicey or what? This must be the old colors, am I right? Is this the old shade of blue we used to have years ago? The original Blues? Look at that shirt right there. Malisak is gonna, a rally puck! Look at this. This will work. When do we drop the first puck? Beautiful. St. Louis Blues, traditional look. Look at this golf shirt. Buy one of these for your friend. Look at that. I need to wear that home. Oh my God, I love this sweatshirt. A hooded sweatshirt with the traditional Brett Hull Blues logo. The Plager brothers would be proud of this. That is very nice. Let's get excited about this. What is? Oh wow. This is a hoodie. Look at the inside of that hoodie, Jake. Phenomenal. St. Louis Blues. I bet Jordan Bennington doesn't even have one of these. I love Bennington. Oh my God, look at this jersey. Is that sweet? St. Louis Blues. I love the shade of blue. It's perfect, traditional, awesome. Pound to rock with this. When I roll my fist down like this, everybody has to say, "Boo!" Are you guys with me? Oh, yeah. Boo! I tell you what, the St. Louis Blues, their new gear, it's got me feeling nicey. Boo! Louder. Boo! Isn't that great, Jake? Hey, thank you so much for including me. I just love your new gear. Love Coach Montgomery. Love the tradition of the Blues. But most importantly, I love the fans of the Blues. We got a lot in common. Yeah, we do. So thank you for all your support and all you do for the team, the city, and the fans. And there's nothing like unity. There's nothing like everybody that's on the same page. And I feel it right here with you guys. So thank you. Let's go Blues.
That's really cool. John Gruden, the former NFL coach, new hype man for St. Louis sports, for the Blues, for the Cardinals. Man, could you imagine if we actually had a football team in St. Louis? If he was the head coach, the press conferences, the media that we would get from John Gruden, that would be pretty darn cool. I just love his energy, man. I love it. And if you don't know, you can follow him at Barstool Sports Gruden. Follow him on X. I do just some really, really cool stuff. And he has a national name. Now he has an international name, and anybody that's promoting St. Louis the way he is, I absolutely love it. And the great thing about Gruden was He came in to do that for the Blues, but then he was also throwing out the first pitch at the Cardinals game last night. So he went from getting, I don't know, that was 4-digit money in gifts. I mean, I was adding it up. I was like sweater, gloves, hats, shirts, necklace. I mean, he got a lot of gifts. That was worth some cash there, that's for sure. Then he went over to the Cardinals, got some new gear as well. He threw out the first pitch last night, and we have that video for you as well. Gruden just living his best life in St. Louis, and my gosh, we need people who are going to support our teams. Here's John Gruden at Busch last night.
Super Bowl 37 champion and current football guy at Barstool Sports, John Gruden. Jersey. He's a big fan of the Bulldogs. He's a big fan of the Blues and their recent playoff series. Here it comes. Thank you, John.
Yeah, not too bad. It could have been worse. It certainly could have been worse. So he threw out the first pitch last night, and he may have bounced it in, but who cares? He's promoting St. Louis, and that's what we love. John Gruden taking care of people are going to get to know him too throughout the area when it comes to St. Louis sports, their community, and so forth. Then he came back in and took some pictures, some handshakes. He's leaving town. He's got to get another suitcase to get all of his merchandise and swag back to his home. St. Louis is good. We know we're good people here. We try to take care of people, especially those who care about us in our area. It is 6:37. You're watching Arch City Now. Vic Faust here. Pro Joe back in the studio at Strategic Air Services in the Chesterfield Valley, where we broadcast live from. If you're just joining the show, I'm live in South Carolina. I had a little trip planned this week where I was here, so we continue to bring you the show. Not the best view in the world. Pro Joe, I have to ask you a question. Just because of the lighting and where I'm at, and you have to make sure you have good Wi-Fi, so I have to stay here. Can you see the ocean in the background yet, or all you see is white?
I see nothing but white.
Okay. Dang it, figures. Yeah. It's beautiful. It's sunny. Here's the thing. It's hot and humid and muggy and nasty here, just like it is in St. Louis. Much of the country dealing with that as well. So if you guys want to jump in on the show, you can do it. Chat with us. You can chat with us. You can chat with others. Arch City Now on X and Arch City Now on YouTube. Check in. Let us know how things are in your neck of the woods. If you want to give us a call, you can do that as well. 855-282-8255. Once again, that's 855-282-8255. Heat index, or the heat index, is supposed to be over 100 again today. And we were just showing you pictures of John Gruden throwing out the first pitch. First pitch today scheduled for 1:15 at Busch Stadium. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, just know that you're going to sweat. It would be hot. You just go in knowing it's going to be a sweat fest if we go to the game. Cardinals would love your support. They're trying to take 3 of 4 from the Cubs today. And of course, it's a huge, huge, huge game if they can take 3 of 4 and not just split with the team, which is what they need to do. Also, last night, when we were talking about the Heat, people just joining us, St. Louis City SC had a game. They lost to Orlando City, unfortunately. Clouds had another goal. We'll show you that as well coming up. However, they lose that game 4-2. They're now just 3-10-6 on the season. Not what we want to see from our team, but they're still finding their way with a new coach and still providing a lot of entertainment for the fans. And, of course, ownership group with St. Louis City SC, second to none when it provides a terrific game atmosphere and game experience. So jumping on the show, we'll be back. We'll get into the Andrew Bailey versus Alfred Montgomery situation that's going on, which is not a very good one right now. We'll also give you some ideas for the 4th of July, things happening around the St. Louis area, and a brand new restaurant from the St. Louis area, brand new to the Illinois side. We'll tell you about that, plus a whole lot more jumping on the chat line. This is Arch City Now, your information station, live and on demand at Arch City Now. You can watch us at luinfo.com.
This hour of content on the Lou Information Station is brought to you by Venture, the Missouri River Otters, and Central Hardware.
Summer in St. Louis means one thing: Cardinals baseball. It's more than a game. It's an STL tradition. The crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, the boom of the fireworks. It's the soundtrack to summer for Cardinals Nation. So grab your cap and glove and take your spot in the stands, because in St. Louis, baseball is more than a melody. It's our favorite song. Hey, Cardinal fans, hydrate like a champ. Head to the ballpark Saturday, July 12th as the Cardinals take on the Braves. That day, 20,000 fans 16 and older score a City Connect tumbler courtesy of Coca-Cola and Quick Trip. Stay cool and sip in style all summer long with this 30-ounce stainless steel tumbler. Don't miss out on this fan-favorite giveaway. Grab your tickets today at cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Nolan Gorman, St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
Join your fellow St. Louis City SC fans at Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill. All St. Louis area Hot Shots locations are proud to be a part of City on Tap, presented by Michelob Ultra, the official network bringing St. Louis City fans and ice cold beer together. Catch every exciting moment of the 2025 MLS season at Hot Shots. Since 1990, Hot Shots has championed St. Louis sports, and they're thrilled to keep the tradition alive for St. Louis City SC. Find the Hot Shots near you at hotshotsnet.com.
This is your LouInfo.com news update. Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey has filed a lawsuit to remove St. Louis Sheriff Alfred Montgomery from office for several reasons. Among them, hiring his brother to serve as deputy sheriff, illegally arresting St. Louis Jail Commissioner Tammy Ross, and for failing to transport inmates for critical medical and mental health treatment. The sheriff said previously he's not going anywhere. 55-year-old Shauna Thomas has been identified as the woman who died in her place at Cypress Village Apartments at Cabana Park. There are reports she had no air conditioning or water service for 3 days during sweltering heat. Residents have complained that management has been hard to reach. Well, now is the time to apply to be part of deer hunts in Missouri. Hunters can apply in July for 145 managed hunts with the goal of controlling populations. You can apply for one deer hunt each year with the Missouri Department of Conservation. Several hunts are happening in St. Louis County. Results of the drawing between August 15th and January 15th. For the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com, I'm Jen Austin.
Here's your LouInfo.com weather update. Another heat advisory today. Very hot and humid. We're headed for the mid-90s. Our heat index about 105. We will have some sunshine, but an afternoon shower may pop up along with thunderstorm or two. A few showers this evening, partly cloudy overnight, upper 70s, hot, sunny, and humid on Thursday. We're in the mid-90s, heat index 105. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton for the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Looking to get organized and support local? At St. Louis Closet Company, we've been designing custom closets and storage solutions right here in St. Louis for over 30 years. From walk-in closets to home offices and even pantries, we create personalized, organized spaces that fit your lifestyle and your space. Built locally and installed professionally. Call 314-781-9000 for your free estimate or visit stlouisclosetco.com today.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify. 800-803-1961. 800-803-1961. 800-803-1961. That's 800-803-1961.
590 AM, just like any other St. Louisan. We may go away, but we always come back. The Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com. Get your content when you want it, how you want it. louinfo.com. Back to more of Arch City Now with Vic Faust on the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Vic Faust here, Arch City Now, Projo back in the studio at Strategic Air Services, where our studio is located in the Chesterfield Valley. I'm live in South Carolina. Glad you guys are with us as we continue to broadcast here and bring you the latest everything St. Louis, the talkabouts, the water cooler talk, what's happening in St. Louis, the headlines, and so forth. And that's why I appreciate you guys jumping in the show as you do when it comes to YouTube and X at Arch City Now. Also, if you want to come into the show, you can give us a call. We give you that phone number as well, 855-282-8255. Once again, that's 855-282-8255. We say happy Thursday. It's going to be another hot scorcher St. Louis summer sizzling day. Make the most of it. It's going to be sunny. That's the good part of it. It's not rainy. Make the most of it. We've talked a lot of sports to start our show off today. At the same point in time, there's a lot of other things that are going on. We cover everything. Whatever's happening, food, drink, entertainment, who's making news, restaurants, nightlife, morning life, coffee, Old Town Donuts, all of those things. Anything that's happening in the St. Louis metropolitan area, we want to shine a light on it. And that's what this show concept is. And we're grateful for you guys being with us today. Speaking of summer means a lot of barbecuing in the St. Louis area. We know that. Projo was barbecuing a couple days ago at his pool party. And of course, he got stuck doing that in 100-degree heat.
Yeah, it wasn't my pool party. However, it was fun.
But you got asked to cook the meat, and you did.
It's when you go to culinary school, you get a lot of people asking you to do stuff like that.
Yeah, that's an issue.
Yeah.
So are you calling your shot? Being a culinary expert?
Well,
are you a master griller?
Yes, I am a Q master for sure.
All right, I did not know that. So now we add that to your repertoire. You have a lot of weapons in your arsenal.
I do.
You're an expert in tattoos, weed, photography, barbecue, and music. There you go. Dang, Projo.
We use the word expert very loosely here.
Oh, those are what you love then.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe those are your interests that you love.
Absolutely.
You can also jump in on the chat line, talk to us from that standpoint as well. Jump in on the chat line, talk with us, talk with others. We got a lot that's going on. Speaking of barbecue, Salt and Smoke, they do a pretty good job throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. They got 7. I say they have 7 locations on the Missouri side. They're opening up a new location in Edwardsville. Edwardsville getting a lot of restaurants. Edwardsville gets a shout out this morning. That's going to open up later this year sometime. And when we talk barbecue, of course, we can't talk barbecue without talking Pappy's. And, we know that Pappy's is incredible. Their ribs are incredible. They've gotten accolades all throughout the years, known as one of the best, if not the best barbecue places in America. Food and Wine just released their list yesterday as part of their 2025 global tastemakers, global. And of course, they say that Pappy's is one of the top 10 places that you need to go check out. That's the kind of school that they get. They say, quote, from the old school experts serving the original styles we know and love today to the new wave pit masters blending culture with tradition. They are a barbecue maker that you need to check out. Yeah, so nice list there. They say, in addition to the positive that they got from that standpoint, from the Food Network also has now deemed Pappy's as the best ribs in America. Southern Living proclaimed it the best barbecue in Missouri, and Esquire named it one of the top 100 restaurants America can't afford to lose. That's a lot. That's a lot to live up to as well. So they say, quote, when 2 competition barbecuers opened Pappy's Smokehouse in 2008, of course, They served the Memphis-style dry rubbed ribs. They quickly established themselves as a staple, widely recognized as having the best dry rub ribs in the country. Projo, you're a pit master. I've got to tell, I mean, there's a lot of good barbecue places all over the St. Louis area. Have you had Pappy's, and your thoughts when it comes to the ribs?
I have not had Pappy's. Of all places in St. Louis, that's
I
one
knew
that-
you had. Gosh, I knew I was going to ask you that, and you were going to say, no, I haven't.
Sorry.
Okay, do me a favor. I know you don't live in the city. You have got to try when you get a chance. You've got to try Pappy's.
Tell you
Promise
what,
me you'll do that.
I'll go do a review and I'll report back to you.
All right, that's good. We'll let everybody know on there. We're here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m., getting you started on your days. By the way, Hot Take Central 2.0 follows us from 8 to 10 a.m. every morning. The former St. Louis Blue, Cam Jansen, and St. Louis Cardinals broadcaster Jim the Cat Hayes, getting you rocking and rolling in the mornings with everything that's headed from that standpoint. Okay, another talk about story in the St. Louis area is Attorney General Andrew Bailey giving an ultimatum to St. Louis Sheriff Alfred Montgomery to remove himself from office, or he would be removed. Well, he didn't listen to Andrew Bailey. He's like, no, wrong. Andrew Bailey has an issue thinking that he's not doing the job, and Andrew Bailey's not the only person, but I'll not going anywhere. We showed you his press conference yesterday. Well, yesterday, Andrew Bailey did what he needed to do. He filed the paperwork to basically dumb it down. He filed the paperwork to have the sheriff removed. The sheriff again came back and said, no, we're not leaving. I haven't done anything wrong. I don't need to leave. So what happened was, with Bailey initiating the paperwork for the removal proceedings, he says that this comes because there's been accusations of financial mismanagement, workplace misconduct, and abuse of authority against other people. So the attorney general says that he's trying to take care of this. He's also accusing him of nepotism because he allegedly, the sheriff that is, hired his half brother as well to do work in the office. This also comes after a expensive vehicle was purchased by the city for the sheriff. It's here, it's there, it's kind of everywhere. But it is interesting too. I think KSDK posted this picture. Andrew Bailey now has this picture as well. This was reported by Mark Maxwell, which says, and he's a local reporter in St. Louis, an unexpected nugget in Andrew Bailey's motion to expel Sheriff Alfred Montgomery. His ill-timed TikTok video showing himself skydiving. This was after he was refusing to provide transportation for inmates because he said that they didn't have enough money. You know, sometimes you do things in life and they may not be that bad, but the timing of something can make situations appear far worse than what they are. Will that be something, and we keep that video up, will that be something that Bailey can use? I don't know. I have no idea, but he refused to provide the transportation that was needed. He was skydiving. So I don't know. To each their own from that standpoint and what they've got going on. We'll keep you posted, but that story doesn't appear to be dying down anytime soon, especially when Montgomery, the current sheriff of St. Louis, has lawyered up with a former judge as well. And the judge is talking about the situation of like, no, he didn't do anything wrong. He's not going anywhere. And it's not just a situation of what's best for St. Louis, what's best for our region. Now it becomes a mano-a-mano situation. And if Andrew Bailey's trying to remove him and doesn't, does that make Andrew Bailey look silly for what he did, or silly for trying to get involved and saying you're going to remove? And then the sheriff goes, no, you're gonna back yourself back up. That's where it is. It's a duel, absolute duel from that standpoint. Other stories that made some headlines yesterday in this 6 o'clock hour. We take you up to the start of the 7 o'clock hour. We'll have another hour of news headlines, what people are talking about in St. Louis. If you're in the Shrewsbury, or if you saw this, there was a heavy police presence at the Walmart parking lot. If you didn't see this story, it just, a poor guy allegedly, according to police, he had an accidental discharge of his weapon in the parking lot inside of his car. So police were called. We're told it wasn't life-threatening, but he did allegedly shoot himself in the parking lot. So people may have saw a heavy police presence. Just want to make sure people understood what that was all about, why there were police there. And of course it happens in a Walmart parking lot. So, hey, to each their own. At least the person is still with us today. You just got to be careful if and when you're carrying those guns, those weapons. That should not happen ever. That should not ever happen. But we don't know all the specifics about what happened. The heat, maybe the heat's getting to people. We've been talking about it a lot. We showed you the road buckling in Cape Girardeau from the last few days. We had another road situation just north of the Arch yesterday, Lenore K. Sullivan Boulevard, just north of the Arch area. They had to have repairs being made yesterday. I mean, these are situations that are happening. It wasn't just that. It was also out in St. Peter's. You had another road that buckled due to the extreme heat in St. Louis. This was along Ashby Road, just north of Page in St. Louis County. I talked about the one in St. Peter's, Lenore K. Sullivan Boulevard down in the city. Workers say it's normal. They say it's the normal expansion in the concrete when you have severe heat like that. So, but the problem is the fact that, yeah, it may be normal, but continuous days of heat over 90, heat indices over 100 with older roads, that expansion, eventually something has to give. The roads break. And of course, then you're having to take care of that concrete, getting crews out and drivers. Yeah, it's just one of those things. You have to be careful wherever you're driving. Obviously, in St. Louis, I don't like to say it, we've become familiar with potholes. Now you have to be familiar when it comes to the situation of roads buckling. Obviously, we don't see anything like we saw in Cape Girardeau a few days ago, where a road literally just buckled right in front of a driver, sent the driver airborne for a little bit, trying to get over the road that was there. Couldn't even avoid it. So it's just another byproduct of the crazy heat that we had. And of course, we're expecting, mid 90s today, heat indice over 100 again. So we don't have any reprieve, so to speak, for quite some time. You are watching Arch City Now. We're here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. You can jump in on the show and give us a call. Let us know what's happening in the St. Louis area. That phone number is 855-282-8255. Once again, it's 855-282-8255. You can jump in on the chat line by going to X and YouTube. You can watch us there, X and YouTube, and jump in at Arch City Now. If there's a shout out you want to give, we like to give shout outs to people and also businesses. If people are doing things in the area, of course, let us know. Let us know. We like to talk about what's happening throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area on this Thursday, June 26th, as we look forward to get you going with another day. Coming up in the next hour, we'll continue to focus on a lot of the sports that happen throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. Also, a major tornado benefit concert that's coming up Sunday at the Fox. We'll give you the information on what's happening there. Also, if you didn't hear, we'll let you know about where you can literally adopt dogs for $25, and it basically includes everything, which is phenomenal. Plus, check. This is Arch City Now. We are your Lou information station. We're live and on demand at luinfo.com. We'll be back with our second hour coming up after the break. And of course, we want to know what's happening in the St. Louis area. Check in, let us know where you are, what's going on in this morning, of course, as we get ready for the weekend. And of course, any 4th of July plans. We'll be back with more of Arch City Now right after this.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a
Broadcasting live from the J. Randolph Jr. Studios. This is the Lou Information Station, ALIS 590 AM, Wood River, St. Louis.
USA Radio News. I'm John Summers. President Trump says he didn't discuss a ceasefire when he spoke with Ukrainian President Zelensky at the NATO summit as they work toward ending the war. Speaking to reporters in the Netherlands, Trump said he's about to chat with Russian President Putin. The president said he had a nice conversation with Zelensky, and he believes the Ukrainian leader wants the war to stop as soon as possible. The White House is doubling down on its claim Iran's nuclear capabilities have been obliterated by American bombers. Wednesday, spokesperson Caroline Leavitt again pushed back on reports saying Iran's nuclear program has been delayed but not destroyed.
You have hostile actors within the intelligence community illegally leak bits and pieces of an intelligence assessment to push a fake news narrative.
Leavitt also echoed earlier comments from Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, who said the news outlets reporting the leaked analysis are attempting to smear President Trump. There's a bipartisan push on Capitol Hill to hit the brakes on future military strikes against Iran. It's led by Congressman Ro Khanna.
The American people are sick of spending billions of dollars on these endless wars.
The California Democrat says the president should not be able to bypass Congress's constitutional authority over matters of war. A vote on the War Powers Resolution is on the fast track for next month. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says Alligator Alcatraz won't have any environmental impact.
There's zero environmental. I mean, you're talking about the guy that's plowed how much money into Everglades restoration?
Alligator Alcatraz is the nickname given to the detention facility for illegal aliens being built in the Everglades near Miami-Dade County. Florida's Attorney General says the federal government approved funding for its construction. The DeSantis administration insists the land was virtually abandoned. From America's News Network, USA Radio News.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into. And that's MetaShare. Maybe you've heard joining MetaShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month. And that's huge, but it's also people just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MetaShare works too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. You can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE 40. 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40.
New York City.
Who needs a vacation? Are you ready for an unforgettable getaway? Start packing your bags because Branson, Missouri, the vacation and entertainment capital of the U.S., is calling your name. For just $99 per person, here's what you get. A full 3-day, 2-night stay in a luxury resort hotel, a delicious full breakfast buffet every morning you're here, and when you call right now, free show tickets worth up to $100. That's right, free show tickets to an award-winning show on us. You don't have to leave the country for an amazing vacation. You can drive or fly to Branson and have an incredible time. Whether you're bringing the whole family or just planning a romantic escape, this trip is built for you. We guarantee you'll love Branson. This is not a timeshare. It's just an unbeatable vacation deal for only $99 per person. You book now, you can use your tickets anytime this year. You don't even know your travel dates to lock in the special price. Hurry, because this offer won't last long. Call our Branson vacation experts today.
800-497-7198. 800-497-7198. 800-497-7198. That's 800-497-7198.
Listen up, fellow timeshare owners. If you're a timeshare owner and you want help at all costs, you're done, frustrated, tired of wasting money, you don't use the darn thing. Get out now. Hire the best Bulldog timeshare cancellation team in the business. Their in-house legal team, headed by a timeshare cancellation lawyer, can help you fight the biggest and baddest companies out there that sell timeshare. At some point, you were using your timeshare, but now you're not, and you're tired of wasting money. Before you go to the poorhouse, call right now and learn how you can stop the maintenance fees and put more money back in your pocket. Their services cost you a lot less than you think, and you'll save a lot of money over time. Call the Timeshare Exit Hotline now. It's a free consultation.
800-824-5131. 800-824-5131. 800-824-5131. That's 800-824-5131.
The Lou Information Station presents Arch City Now with Vic Faust.
Hey guys, welcome back into the show. Hope you're doing well on this Thursday morning. This is Arch City Now. I'm Vic Faust, our producer, Projo, back in studio in St. Louis, as you can see behind me. Well, maybe you can't because of this darn white stuff we have here. There's an ocean behind me. That's right. It's beautiful. We try. We have to stay to Wi-Fi to do all of this technology to reach you on radio, to reach you on podcast, and to make sure that you can actually hear us. But we're making it work. Today was the final day that we'll be going live from South Carolina, bringing you everything about St. Louis so that the show can go on. Projo doing a pretty good job back in studio to make sure that this is all working out. For all intents and purposes, it's worked.
Yeah, technology's amazing. Yeah,
It's
right.
worked. So
knock on wood.
No, and that's what I love about luinfo.com and all the shows that we have here and what Dave Great has put together when it comes to a 24/7 podcast radio situation where it's all about St. Louis, bringing you everything in this new concept, this new era of technology, and just having the conversations about St. Louis. This show about anything and everything, what people are talking about. We cover anything and everything, and that's why we love it when people jump in on the chat line. And you can do that at X. You can do it at Arch, and of course you can do it at YouTube at Arch City Now. You can jump in on the chat, say hi, let people know what's happening. Good morning to you as well, Paul and Michael jumping in. We do what we can to promote this. So I say today's our last day from here. That's because tomorrow, Joe, you'll be joined by Tony Patrico. He'll be filling in tomorrow. Grateful for Tony, super talent. He will you two got to figure out what you're talking about tomorrow. That'll be fun. That's for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna be figuring out the show tonight.
Yeah, Tony's bailing us out. We're grateful for him coming in and rocking and rolling as he always does. And by the way, if you don't know, you can watch his shows on Mondays and Wednesdays, The Sounds of STL. We previewed that show on our show a couple weeks back. And it really is a dynamic, unique, interesting show focusing on local St. Louis music, the bands that we have, the bands that are coming to town. And tomorrow, Tony will be jumping in from that standpoint. So we promote Tony doing the show, and I'm grateful as we make our way back to the St. Louis area. It is Thursday, June 26th. Our time is 7:07. You can give us a call if you want to and talk about whatever, promote whatever. We're grateful. Ask a question. The phone number 855-282-8255. Once again, that is 855-282-8255. The weather, as you heard, it's going to be over 100 with the heat index again today, mid-90s for the high. Cardinals in action. Once again, they'll play at 1:15 today. They're trying to take 3 of 4 games from the Cubs. Really a pivotal game. And if people are going out, you're going to be hot to the game. You already know that. It's gonna be hot. You just know it. And you go there expecting it. Know you're going to sweat. You do as best as you can. Dress appropriately. And then try to make the most of it, enjoying a day out in the sun. At least it's not raining and storming, right? That's what I would think. Cardinals lose last night, 8-0. Shut out after 2 fun games at Busch. They get shut out. Only had 4 hits. That means they should be ready today, right? That's what we're hoping for, at least. Yeah, we'll see. Palante's on the mound for the Cardinals today from that standpoint. Also, St. Louis City SC lost last night. Final score there was 4-2. I love this goal that they had. This was a really darn good goal last night from Klaus. St. Louis City, you thought that maybe they could get the victory. It didn't happen. The final score was 4-2. But this was certainly a fun goal. And look at all the people at the game last night, despite the heat.
Get through. Close! Art City Assassin has another.
Final score last night, 4-2, St. Louis City. That was a positive moment. They're just 3-10-6 on the year. Hasn't been that way, but it's still a good time. And the ownership does a fantastic job of marketing soccer, putting on a good game day product. Now we just got to put those wins together somehow, some way, because, boy, St. Louis would certainly be excited to see a great soccer team and one that can compete for a title at some point in the future. Keep in mind, we're still a young organization doing whatever they possibly can. Also, the NBA draft last night, first round, 2 Illini players, Kasparis Jakavicius and Will Riley went 20 and 21 to Miami and Utah, respectively. Tonight, a couple of Mizzou players and St. Louis's own Caleb Love from CBC have a shot at being drafted. Tamar Bates from Mizzou. He's considered to be the 33rd best player available. Caleb Grill, the 37th best player available. And Caleb Love, the 39th best player available. Of course, there's 30 teams drafting. So who knows? Any one of those 3 players could get drafted tonight. If not, that doesn't mean their NFL or their NBA dreams are over. That just means they would have to come through developmental league, tryouts, and so forth from that standpoint. We like to focus on the things that are happening around town and some of the headlines, as we were just talking about. But next weekend, as we get into the July 4th weekend, what's happening? What are you guys doing? What are some plans? We like to give you some heads up, things to start thinking about, things that you can do in St. Louis on the 4th of July. Maybe there's a fireworks show that you go to every year. Let us know what you think are some of the best. We'll be talking about the fireworks situations next week as well. Where do you go? What do you do? But we do have some ideas here as well on what you can do on the 4th of July, some of the things that are happening around town. Projo, if you're playing that or can play that, we'll try to do it even though I'm on a lag from that standpoint. Let me know when we're able to show some of those things that people can do. You've got what's called the JB Blast, Jefferson Barracks Veteran Memorial Amphitheater, June 27th. You can celebrate St. Louis downtown, of course, with the fireworks. That's July 3rd and July 4th. So, that's a good thing. Also, you've got at the City Museum, Electric Sky. That's for the 4th of July as well. They do a fantastic job there. And if you have any other ideas, you can let us know as well. The Star Spangled Fireworks Party. You've got the fireworks cruises, Riverboats of the Gateway Arch. That's July 3rd and 4th. Heritage Freedom has their fireworks July 4th and 5th. That's out in O'Fallon, Missouri. So as you can see, there are things to do, fireworks specials. Shows all over the St. Louis metropolitan area where people can go out and enjoy what's happening for the 4th of July. I think I've been to all of that. I haven't seen the City Museum one, but I think I've been to all the other ones. Kirkwood Freedom Festival. I've been out there. They do a fantastic job out at Kirkwood Park. Eureka has an Independence Day celebration on July 4th as well. As you can see, there are places all over the St. Louis metropolitan area. Six Flags. You have St. Charles Riverfront, July 4th through the 6th. Westport Plaza has a blast on July 5th. And of course, we'll continue to keep you posted on all the things that are happening throughout the week when we lead up to the 4th of July. Okay, this is Arch City now. We're glad you're with us today. 7:13 is our time on this June 26th. We showed you what's happening from a heat standpoint. We also wanted to promote a concert that's coming up this weekend. It's a big deal when it comes to helping tornado victims. We're talking about over 100 musicians that are going to be at the fabulous Fox Theater this Sunday. 3 p.m. is the event time. So you have 3 p.m. and it's a big concert because I talk about who's going to be there and what they're doing. So these are St. Louis area musicians, more than 100 of them, including the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra. It's a benefit, obviously, for tornado victims throughout the St. Louis area. The Fox Theater, 3 p.m., June 29th, including performances that reflect themes of hope and resilience because of what people are dealing with. Grammy Award-winning gospel singer BB Winans will also perform at the event. It's supposed to be fantastic. Tickets are on sale now. You can I repeat, going to go right back to the Urban League. Michael McMillan and his team do a phenomenal job at helping people throughout our community, people who are in need, people who are less fortunate, and or people who experience devastating tragedies that we have seen, especially with the likes of the tornado that happened May 16th. So we wanted to make sure that we were promoting that concert and everything that was going on this weekend. Also, when it comes to tornado victims and people stepping up in St. Louis, as we see it happen so many times, you also have the Missouri Restaurant Association. They do a lot of work, a lot of charitable work as well, raising money for causes. Well, they have now given a $335,000 check, $335,000 check to the St. Louis Tornado Relief Fund to try to help people who are dealing with all kinds of issues throughout the community. And it's interesting because insurance companies and the surveys that are done say that 70%, this is a huge number, of people throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area who experienced the tornado or the effects of it, damage, house construction, exterior, so to speak, are underinsured or don't even have insurance at all. And I've talked about the business that I'm involved with on the side. I'm out. I've been out in these homes. I've been all over the Central West End, working there in the North St. Louis area, and that's the case. I mean, you have many people who they just don't have enough insurance. The estimates that are coming back in St. Louis, and all of us have to get insurance, we're supposed to. This is what blows my mind. And I look at some of these estimates. Actually, I look at all of them that come in. Most of them are under what they should be. Many of them are under what they should be. And it's kind of a one-size-fit-all situation when it comes to insurance. When you make a claim and you send it in, they come out, the adjuster comes out and looks at it. These adjusters are overworked. There's tons of claims all over the place. Most of the adjusters are from out of town, and they're expected to do a perfect job. Well, they don't all the time, and that's why you have to work with companies that know how to work with the insurance company and the software that they work with, because many of these checks that are coming back for people to get the work done, they don't cover the damage. And that's why you need help from organizations and groups that we're starting to see throughout the St. Louis area. So when I see events being held at Chaffetz Arena, like we see, when you see what the Urban League's doing, the American Red Cross in town going door to door, FEMA going door to door to help St. Louis residents as well, it gives you hope that there are people who are out there. There are organizations who are trying to help. You just need to make some calls and see if you need help. There's help out there. And then, of course, you can try to work within that standpoint. This is Arch City Now. We're glad you're joining us. Once again, if you're just joining us, reporting live here from South Carolina. Tony Patrico will be in tomorrow morning with Pro Joe, manning the duties live from our studio in the Chesterfield Valley. We appreciate you guys jumping in the show. We do appreciate that you like, subscribe, share the show. We're still a new show within the first month. And we're still trying to get the word out, not only from our show, but the show that follows us, Hot Take Central 2.0 with Cam Jansen and Jim Hayes and the rest of the shows throughout the day, Charlie Tuna and his group. You've also got the happy hour show in the evening time. There are a lot of shows. You can check out everything that's happening with this network at luinfo.com. Once again, luinfo.com. And you can watch us on YouTube and X at Arch City Now. That's where you can comment on the show, talk with us, talk with others, give shout outs, let us know what's happening throughout the St. Louis area. You can call in that phone number 855-282-8255, 855-282-8255, and let us know what's happening throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. We try to cover some of the stories, what people are talking about, what's good, what's exciting, what moves the needle in St. Louis from that standpoint, because we know there's always a lot that's going on. We come back. We'll see more of the John Gruden Day in St. Louis. Also get you set for what's happening this week around the area. And, of course, just dealing with the heat. What's happening in your neck of the woods? How are you trying to stay cool? Those things and more. Like, subscribe, share the show. Back with more. We are the information station, live and on demand at luinfo.com.
Want to learn about the best places to eat in the Lou? Tune in to Dinner Rush with Joe Fresta each Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill has a new menu. But don't freak out. Hot Shots favorites are still there, like their famous wings, tacos, burgers, and pizzas. Plus, sure to be new faves like Big Philly egg rolls, the Bold and Hearty Slugger sandwich, the Buffalo chicken pizza, and 2 new wing sauces, Carolina Gold and Bourbon Glaze. And making a comeback, it's the return of Hot Shots' legendary waffle fries. So now there's even more to love at Hot Shots. Come try out the new menu at Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill. Find the location nearest you at hotshotsnet.com.
Hey everyone, Cam Jansen here to tell you about the experts at Fast Signs in Earth City. Fast Signs can handle any and all of your business visibility needs, from traditional signs and graphics to digital to core graphics and anything in between. Fast Signs in Earth City has you covered. The station uses them, the Blues use them, and you will love the work they do. Call 314-344-4400 for your custom signage needs today. That's Fast Signs in Earth City, 314-344-4400.
This is your LouInfo.com news update. Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey has filed a lawsuit to remove St. Louis Sheriff Alfred Montgomery from office for several reasons. Among them, hiring his brother to serve as deputy sheriff, illegally arresting St. Louis Jail Commissioner Tammy Ross, and for failing to transport inmates for critical medical and mental health treatment. The sheriff said previously he's not going anywhere. 55-year-old Shauna Thomas has been identified as the woman who died in her place at Cypress Village Apartments at Cabana Park. There are reports she had no air conditioning or water service for 3 days during sweltering heat. Residents have complained that management has been hard to reach. Well, now is the time to apply to be part of deer hunts in Missouri. Hunters can apply in July for 145 managed hunts with the goal of controlling populations. You can apply for 1 deer hunt each year with the Missouri Department of Conservation. Several hunts are happening in St. Louis County. Results of the drawing between August 15th and January 15th. We're the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at luinfo.com. I'm Jen Austin.
Here's your LouInfo.com weather update. Another heat advisory today. Very hot and humid. We're headed for the mid-90s. Our heat index about 105. We will have some sunshine, but an afternoon shower may pop up along with a thunderstorm or two. A few showers this evening, partly cloudy overnight, upper 70s, hot, sunny, and humid on Thursday. We're in the mid-90s. Heat index 105. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton for the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at luinfo.com.
People ask all the time, who the heck is Low Cost Airlines? Well, we're not just one airline. When you're talking to us, you're talking to everyone. We are the discount supermarket for all airline tickets. Plus, we have all the airlines and always have the best prices. American, Delta, United, plus all the specialized international airlines and a lot more. And we make it easy. We guarantee you'll talk to a lot of you in 60 seconds. You can have the rate you need and have your trip booked in 5 minutes. Now, how cool is that? And remember, when you're talking to us, it's like talking to every single airline available with one fast phone call. All you need to do is call and find the best prices to fly wherever it is you want to go. So are you ready? Call Low Cost Airlines right now. 800-298-0306. 800-298-0306. 800-298-0306. That's 800-298-0306.
Listen up, fellow timeshare owners. If you're a timeshare owner and you want out at all costs, you're done. Frustrated, tired of wasting money, you don't use the darn thing. Get out now. Hire the best Bulldog timeshare cancellation team in the business. Their in-house legal team, headed by a timeshare cancellation lawyer, can help you fight the biggest and baddest companies out there that sell timeshare. At some point, you were using your timeshare, but now you're not, and you're tired of wasting money. Before you go to the poorhouse, call right now and learn how you can stop the maintenance fees and put more money back in your pocket. Their services cost you a lot less than you think, and you'll save a lot of money over time. Call the Timeshare Exit Hotline now. It's a free consultation.
800-824-5131. 800-824-5131. 800-824-5131. That's 800-824-5131.
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page and follow all the station's social media accounts and podcasts. Find out how at luinfo.com. Back to more of Arch City Now with Vic Faust on the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at luinfo.com.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. This is Arch City Now, all about St. Louis, what's happening in your neck of the woods. We are live Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. So we have our stories, and it can include anything that's happening around the area, plus live news, breaking updates, one of which we just saw come in. The IRS is now announcing some tax relief for tornado victims throughout the St. Louis area, which is really good. So you're talking about tax returns not until November 3rd of 2025. Tax payments, various other situations as well. You can learn more about that by contacting the IRS. Love to see that, where we at least try to get a little bit of the help from that standpoint. Cardinals back in action today as we give you the updates coming in the show. They play at 1:15 today. Game 4 of their series with the Cubs, the first place Cubs, who have a 3.5 game lead. That after St. Louis lost last night, but at least there is some positive going on when it comes to the area and people who are promoting us, that's for sure. Also, want to give out the shout out, as we said, Salt and Smoke barbecue restaurant. It's headed to Edwardsville later this year. It'll be their 8th overall restaurant. Of course, they have 7 in the St. Louis area, so they're going to take their first one to the Illinois side. Glad to help out with that, and of course, promoting what they've got going on. The Missouri Restaurant Association, we talked about it last break, a $335,000 check for St. Louis tornado victims who are dealing with a lot of the problems that are going on. There's also a benefit concert coming up on Sunday at 3 o'clock at the Fabulous Fox. The St. Louis Symphony is a part of it, 100 local performers. BB Winans will be performing. You can get your tickets all to at the Fabulous Fox, all to support St. Louis tornado victims. And I also wanted to get this shout out there right now as well. The APA, the Animal Protection Association, they have they've got over 100 dogs right now over at the APA in Brentwood. They're offering adoption for $25. These dogs are microchipped. They come with a leash, a bag of food. If anybody knows, we're assuming that would be the shots as well for just $25. They have over 100 dogs. They can't take care of all of them. So if you were thinking about adopting or helping out a pet, now is the time. Check out the APA from that standpoint as well. Earlier in the show, we showed you somebody who promotes St. Louis and St. Louis sports as much as anybody these days, and that's John Gruden. That's right, the former NFL coach, the Super Bowl winning coach. We found out during the Blues playoff run that he absolutely loved the Blues. He did not grow up here. Now he loves the Cardinals. He threw out the first pitch last night as well. I know he was a college football player at Miami, Ohio, but he's taken to our city, and our city seems to be taken to him as well. He dropped by the Enterprise yesterday to pick up some of the new gifts that we were talking about when it comes to their new sweater, their new gear, the new logo, those sorts of things, and just trying to promote St. Louis. So this was John Gruden yesterday coming in to Enterprise Center to collect. I mean, I was trying to add up the gifts, the swag that he got with everything from that standpoint. So here's John Gruden from Enterprise yesterday, enjoying all of his swag and getting people excited within the Blues community.
Would you look at this hat? Would you look at this, Jake? Look at this hat.
Projo, right, do we have that?
Nice? Does that have you feeling nicey or what?
Oh, we don't have it.
This must be the
so
old
I get
color.
Projo,
Am I
when you
right?
check back in.
We have it.
Is this the old
What's
shade
that?
of blue we used to have
We
years
have
ago?
it.
Are you playing
The
it?
original blues.
Yes.
Look at that shirt right
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Malasek is going to...
I
A
don't-
rally puck!
I don't want to delay, my friend. I'm just making sure. From the chat line, Glenn says, Chucky. Yes, because he does look a little bit like Chucky. So John Gruden taking care of business. He was fantastic. He got those. Then he went and threw out the first pitch last night as well. And I think people in St. Louis are trying to figure out why he loves St. Louis so much. We love it, that he loves it. So Projo, you'll just let me know when you're ready to play that. And Cardinals did not win last night. They lost 8-0, but at least John Gruden was okay. So we're going to show the John Gruden Cardinals video first. Then we'll go back and show the Blues standpoint as well.
He's a big fan of the Blues and their recent playoff series. Here it comes. Thank you, John. All right, that's our Busey fan. He's welcome Jeff Taylor to the field. Jeff is a longtime client and friend of Busey fan. Jeff is joined by his family.
All right. You there, Vic?
Yeah. Hey, Joe. What's going on, my friend? I appreciate it. So there you saw we played John Gruden at the Blues, getting all of his gear. And then, of course, at Busch Stadium last night, throwing out the first pitch, getting more gear, hats, shirts, you name it. The Cardinals didn't get the win. But at least John Gruden was in attendance trying to promote the city. And, of course, that's what we love. You can't get enough of that. And we love to promote that as well. This is Arch City now. Thanks for joining us. If you want to give us a call, you can do so as well. 855-282-8255. Once again, 855-282-8255. Cardinals in action today. We talked about it. 1:15. It's going to be hot. The heat indice over 100. If you're going to the game, let us know. If you're at the game last night, let us know. If you were at the St. Louis City game last night, which they lost 4-2, let us know, because it did seem like people were still out and about doing as much as they can with the summer heat. One of the other stories, this happened last week. News stations showed there's video cameras everywhere. So this guy obviously had an issue. He got caught throwing rocks into a business crime. It doesn't mean there's problems. This was a situation of one person. It's like, if you do stupid things, you're going to win stupid prizes. And there's video cameras everywhere. Anytime you go out, just assume that you're being videotaped. So this guy was caught on video rocks, and several of them through the Black Optical Eye Center. We're talking about $10,000 in damages. Allegedly, it was at Euclid. Allegedly, he was upset because that's what the video. He was waiting on his girlfriend, and she was making him wait a long time. So he threw rocks to the building. I don't know if he was in his right mind. Clearly, it doesn't look like he was. Just grateful that there was actually video for this guy to take care of the damages in regard. So he needs to be brought to justice. I mean, he was just very, very, very upset. Very upset. And of course, we can't have that. You can't do stupid things, and especially hurting and destroying other people's property. That's not good for anybody from that standpoint. Okay. This is Arch City Now. We're here, Projo alongside as well. If you ever have story ideas, let us know. You can contact us on Gmail as well. archcitynow@gmail.com. Once again, archcitynow@gmail.com. And you can also jump in on the participant. That you understand everything that we're doing on a daily basis, Monday through Friday, as we are approaching the end of our 4th week here with the Lou Info station, louinfo.com. Once again, louinfo.com. We say good morning to people when they jump into the show. That includes Ben says good morning. We appreciate everybody who's been jumping in today. 7:34 on this June 26th. We know people coming in and just jumping in to see what they can. We've had a lot of topics that we've covered already over the past hour and a half. We'll continue to cover more of those throughout the day as well. We talk about also what's happening with the Salt and Smoke. We talked about that opening up. Pappy's getting more honors. The Food Network saying that Pappy's has the #1 ribs in America. If you want to check in on the barbecue conversation, let us know how you feel about that, where you're thinking about what's happening from a barbecue standpoint. What are your favorite barbecue places throughout St. Louis? Because we have so many. I don't even know if I could say there's a favorite, because #1, different places do different items pretty well. And then 2, there's so many. I mean, there are barbecue places all over the St. Louis metropolitan area, and things that we can feel pretty good about as well when it comes to barbecue. We've also got the story today that we're going to be following. Is there more that's going to come with Andrew Bailey filing paperwork to remove the St. Louis sheriff, Alfred Montgomery? He's refusing to leave from that standpoint for a variety of reasons. He says he hasn't done anything wrong. However, the AG said he has. Another story, Walmart parking lot yesterday. A man accidentally shot himself in his car. That's what police are telling us. If you were wondering what the heavy police presence was in the Walmart parking lot, that happened at about 2:00 yesterday afternoon. So, we we report it. You'll wonder if you're driving by and you see a bunch of police in a parking lot. You're like, oh my gosh, what's going on? What's happening? Those things were happening as well. Also, wanted to show you the roads buckling again. The heat taking its toll on roads. Now, experts say it's normal heat expansion. Roads are going to expand with the heat. The problem is we've had consecutive days now of heat, over 100. And when that happens, obviously that expansion hits. And then we show you pictures like this where roads are not staying together. We showed you what happened to Cape Girardeau the other day. Then in regards to the road just buckling and creating a ramp, but then Lenore K. Sullivan Boulevard, that was just north of the Arch. This a shot in St. Louis County from yesterday. The road buckling as well. I mean, you're looking, this was along Ashby Road, just north of Page Avenue in St. Louis County. Traffic was still able to move around. St. Peter's had a road that buckled yesterday as well from the heat, and it can happen just out of nowhere. Sometimes it's a gradual process, but other times it just happens, boom, just like that, and it's done, and there's nothing you can do. So certainly other issues. Water main breaks have been occurring throughout the area, so the heat's certainly taking its toll. And the other thing about it is there's no relief. There's no relief until maybe next week. So you know what you do with it, you try to stay as cool as you can, and function, because as we always say, before too long, it'll be cold again. And we're like, oh no, it's too cold. We got hit with it again. So we've got, this show that we're live. I know you can't see it, from South Carolina near Myrtle Beach. Tomorrow, Tony Patrico will be in studio, in our studio in Chesterfield. He'll be hosting the show with Projo tomorrow. So be sure to jump in, like, subscribe, share the show. They'll be putting together another fun, entertaining show as we head into the weekend. I know that they love their music and other things that are happening. Tony has a show as well called Sounds of STL on Mondays and Wednesdays right here on our same network. You can learn more about that at luinfo.com. Once again, luinfo.com.
Yeah, tomorrow might be
if there's somebody
bit of
you
a
wanna
different show. A bit of a
It might be a what?
show.
Yeah, absolutely. Fun, entertainment, music, you name it, anything. You guys will be talking about that today leading into tomorrow. All right. Like, subscribe, share the show, guys. Jump in on the chat line if you want to. You can do that on X and YouTube. We're getting you set. We have another segment coming up right after this. We are the information station live and on demand at luinfo.com.
This hour of content on the Lou Information Station is brought to you by Del Taco, Johnny Mac's Sporting Goods, and Flaming Pit.
Summer in St. Louis means one thing: Cardinals baseball. More than a game. It's an STL tradition. The crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, the boom of the fireworks. It's the soundtrack to summer for Cardinals Nation. So grab your cap and glove.
But it wasn't that way.
Because in St. Louis, baseball is more than a melody. It's our favorite song.
This is former Cardinal and Navy Lieutenant Mitch Harris. Salute those who serve. From Friday, July 11th, the Military Appreciation Night, presented by Boeing. With a special themed ticket, fans will take home an exclusive Cardinals 40-ounce tumbler, honoring all 6 military branches. Arrive early for a powerful pregame concert by the U.S. Air Force Band on the Budweiser stage. And that's all each ticket.
Let me try to
benefits
find
USO Missouri. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
Join your fellow St. Louis City SC fans at Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill. All St. Louis area Hot Shots locations are proud to be a part of City on Tap, presented by Michelob Ultra, the official network bringing St. Louis City fans and ice-cold beer together. Catch every exciting moment of the 2025 MLS season at Hot Shots. Since 1990, Hot Shots has championed St. Louis sports, and they're thrilled to keep the tradition alive for St. Louis City SC. Find the Hot Shots near you at hotshotsnet.com.
This is your luinfo.com news update. Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey has filed a lawsuit to remove St. Louis Sheriff Alfred Montgomery from office for several reasons. Among them, hiring his brother to serve as deputy sheriff, illegally arresting St. Louis Jail Commissioner Tammy Ross, and for failing to transport inmates for critical medical and mental health treatment. The sheriff said previously he's not going anywhere. 55-year-old Shauna Thomas has been identified as the woman who died in her place at Cypress Village Apartments at Cabana Park. There are reports she had no air conditioning or water service for 3 days during sweltering heat. Residents have complained that management has been hard to reach. Well, now is the time to apply to be part of deer hunts in Missouri. Hunters can apply in July for 145 managed hunts with the goal of controlling populations. You can apply for one deer hunt each year with the Missouri Department of Conservation. Several hunts are happening in St. Louis County. Results of the drawing between August 15th and January 15th. For the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at luinfo.com, I'm Jen Austin.
Here's your luinfo.com weather update. Another heat advisory today. Very hot and humid. We're headed for the mid-90s. Our heat index about 105. We will have some sunshine, but an afternoon shower may pop up along with thunderstorm or two. A few showers this evening, partly cloudy overnight, upper 70s, hot, sunny, and humid on Thursday. We're in the mid-90s, heat index 105. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton for the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at luinfo.com.
Looking to get organized and support local? At St. Louis Closet Company, we've been designing custom closets and storage solutions right here in St. Louis for over 30 years. From walk-in closets to home offices and even pantries, we create personalized, organized spaces that fit your lifestyle and your space. Built locally and installed professionally. Call 314-781-9000 for your free estimate or visit stlouisclosetco.com today.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify. 800-803-1961. 800-803-1961. 800-803-1961. That's 800-803-1961.
The Lou Information Station content can be found online at luinfo.com, on our Lou Info YouTube page, and you can find all our local shows on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search by name or find all the links at luinfo.com. Back to more of Arch City Now with Vic Faust on the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at luinfo.com.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. We appreciate you being with us today, Thursday, June 26th. Let's have a wonderful Thursday. We get you started every morning, of course, 6 to 8 a.m. with Arch City Now. Projo alongside. He's in the studio making sure we look and sound as good as we possibly can. We are live from South Carolina, making the radio/podcast thing happen all week. You can't see it behind me because of this freaking. I need your lighting, Projo.
Yeah, that laptop camera doesn't do you justice, or at least the background.
No, it doesn't. I'm used to our wonderful production in studio, so we do what we can. We continue to promote St. Louis. Today's the last day we do that. Tomorrow, Tony Patrico filling in studio. Grateful for Tony doing that, working with you. We were talking about that before we went to break. Of course, we're live Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m., promoting everything in St. Louis. Keep us posted if you have story ideas, things you want to be talked about today, next week, anything and everything. That's what we do when it comes to this show, Arch City Now. What's happening? What's moving the needle? What are people talking about? Focusing on people, newsmakers, things of that nature. And, of course, all the headlines and the things that are revolving around St. Louis, what we do, and so forth. We were giving a shout-out to John Gruden for what he does, the former Super Bowl winning NFL coach, of course, in town yesterday, promoting the Blues, then throwing out the first pitch at the St. Louis Cardinals game. He took all kinds of pictures. You can follow him at Barstool Gruden, by the way, on X, Barstool Gruden. A lot of his content, I mean, he promotes St. Louis, which is really cool to a national audience. And we know we can't get enough positive vibe and feedback from people when they come to our area. Cardinals have a game today, 1:15. It's going to be hot. They have a chance to take 3 or 4 from the Cubs. That would put them back within 2.5 games for the division lead, which would be super important. Also, the Cardinals have won 7 of their last 10. It'd be nice to finish off a really good homestand. But obviously, you need to just prepare yourself. Temperatures, mid-90s for the high, heat indices over 100. If you don't have a breeze, it can be bad. But then again, you're doing something you love. You're watching and supporting the St. Louis Cardinals from that standpoint. Also, some things that are going on. We got this as the Downtown Summer Nights. Thursdays come back to Keener Plaza. They start tonight. This runs all the way through August 28th. It's a fun deal, something new to do. They're showing Grease tonight. In July, you've got Independence Day. You've got live music. Disney's Frozen. You have more live music. Mamma Mia. All kinds of acts, things down at Keener Plaza. All the movies, by the way, start at 6 p.m., and all musical films will be shown in collaboration with the Muni. So another deal, something else that's happening throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. From the chat line, Todd as well, good morning to you. He says, is John getting into hockey now? I'm confused. Why he promotes the Blues. Yeah, that's another thing. He says he's always been a Blues fan. So during the playoff run, Gruden was in St. Louis. He came to a game, hung out with Chris Pronger, who, by the way, we're going to have Chris and his wife on the show here in the next coming weeks to talk about some of the things that they have going on. But yeah, Chris took him around. He hung out with him at the game. He loves St. Louis. I don't know. He's an energetic guy. Chucky, as we saw from the chat line earlier. Lots of enthusiasm. It's John. And we're glad that he likes St. Louis, and of course promoting the Blues at the same point in time. We were talking about the Cardinals. Obviously, they finish off their series today. St. Louis City SC lost last night 4-2. They're just 3-10-6. They have a new coach. They're trying to find their way. Still a great time. A lot of people showed up for the game last night as well, despite the heat. And it's one thing to work out. It's one thing to push yourself. Then it's another thing to play professional soccer when it's over 90 degrees. That's for sure. So those guys were giving their all last night. Also, the NBA draft, second round of the draft coming up tonight. St. Louis's own Caleb Love, who starred at CBC, has an outside shot at getting drafted tonight. You never know. A couple of Mizzou players may see their name called tonight. Tamar Bates and Caleb Grill. They're just outside the top 30 when it comes to best available players. There will be 30 picks in the second round tonight when it comes to everything that's happening in St. Louis. We also talked about you. And by the way, Todd says, I like John. I lived in Tampa when he won the Super Bowl. A lot of people like him. Very likable guy. He was a broadcaster as well. And now he's taken to St. Louis and St. Louis is taken to him. Things to look for throughout the St. Louis area today from a standpoint when it comes to police and politics. Andrew Bailey, our Attorney General for the state of Missouri, has filed paperwork to remove the sheriff from St. Louis, Alfred Montgomery. They said he's mismanaged money, amongst other things. The sheriff says, no, that has not happened. And it's getting kind of ugly. Then a picture surfaces from TikTok with the sheriff skydiving in the midst of him saying that he wasn't going to transport prisoners for medical care and anything because he said he didn't have money. So, that's another issue. But he's lawyered up. He's like, bring it on, Andrew Bailey, and St. Louis, of course. Roads buckling, we showed you that. Just be careful wherever you're driving. If you see people who are slowing down, there may be a reason for that because of roads breaking. I think there's 4 or 5 different locations throughout the St. Louis area, St. Louis metropolitan area, where roads have buckled. You just be careful. Be as careful as you can. Once again, if you're looking to adopt, what's that, buddy?
So St. Louis is notoriously known for their potholes. So the difference with these road buckling is they could do it right in front of you and you wouldn't even know it at last minute. Like next thing you know, you're up in the air like the one guy we saw in that video.
That video was crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah,
from Cape Girardeau.
Right
buckle just at the last second.
Yeah, he had no warning at all.
It's like, okay, all right, we get it. We say, what else can we do? Try explaining that one to insurance. That's for sure. Now may be a perfect time to adopt. What's that?
It's a good thing he's got that video now. Nobody would believe that.
I know. Yeah, but you're still paying a deductible to, on top of it. Just frustrating for people, but it's what the heat can do. It is the summer, and you do what you can. I was talking about the APA out of Brentwood. They're trying to get some dogs adopted. They've got over 100 dogs right now. It's not sustainable. They can't do it. They do a terrific job. They have a $25 adoption fee right now where your dog comes, we're assuming with shots, microchipped, a leash, and a bag of food to boot on top of it. So if you were ever looking, you can help them out. You can help yourself, your family out. If you're looking or thinking about adopting, now would be a terrific time to help out the APA in Brentwood, because they have, I can't imagine. They're not built for that, which is why I said it's not sustainable with what they're trying to do. The Missouri Restaurant Association has written a check for $335,000 to the Tornado Relief Fund. So a big shout out to the Missouri Restaurant Association for doing what they're doing. There's so much money. You hear about money being given to victims. It's still not even enough when it comes to these funds, because you're talking about $1 billion to $2 billion of relief. So you continue to hear it. If you're not living it, if it hasn't happened to you, you may not quite be able to understand it. But when you drive through those streets, there's still damage. There's still cars haven't been moved from trees falling off. House is still tarped. It takes a while. Insurance claims coming back that are not what they should be. And then there was a report yesterday where 70% or just over 70% of people who suffered damage from the tornadoes in the last storms in the St. Louis area are either underinsured or don't have insurance at all. And that creates another massive problem. That's FEMA's going door to door, trying to help out victims. The American Red Cross going door to door to try to help victims. We talk about the events that are being held at Chaffetz Arena to provide help. And of course, last but not least, the Urban League, Michael McMillan and everybody that works over there, what they do all the time, 365 days a year. Speaking of what they're doing, there's a concert, a massive concert with over 100 local artists scheduled for 3 p.m. Sunday. And that's going to be at the Fox. St. Louis Orchestra will be a part of that. Gospel singer BB Winans will be singing. She'll be performing. And all of the money raised from that event will go to the Urban League as well. So if you're looking to help, you can do that. If you're looking to clean up, there's groups all over the St. Louis metropolitan area who are trying to make a difference when it comes to helping people who really need it right now because of everything that is going on. We talked about what's happening, what's going to be happening next week, the 4th of July. If you have events that you want promoted, if things are going on, if you have ideas for shows, just let us know. That's what we do here on our show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. And of course, following us is Hot Takes with Cam Jansen and Jim the Cat Hayes. Also, if you want to learn more about all the shows that we have going on, do that. LouInfo.com. LouInfo.com. That's the website that promotes everything that we do. It has our schedule and it shows you all the shows, the niche shows that are happening on our network as well. And if you wanted to do a show, reach out to us. Arch City Now at from that standpoint to see if your show makes sense, because we have slots, we have times, we can do those things. And or if you want to get involved in our show, let us know. Content is king these days. If you have a business, if you have a niche, let us know. If you wanted to do segments with us, we can talk about what it takes. And of course, promoting you to the big audience that we have throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area, not only on our podcast, on the audio and video platforms, but also on 590 AM as well. LouInfo.com. LouInfo.com. You can stream us there as well with everything that is happening. Tomorrow, we talked about it. Tony Patrico will be in to do the show. We appreciate him jumping in, and he'll be doing the show with Pro Joe. So if you guys are here, you can help him out, jump on the chat line, talk, provide topics, you name it, what's happening throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. You know the headlines, you see the things that we cover and the research that we do, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be perfect all the time. Also, we need you. We're talking to you. What's happening throughout the Lou? What are the stories that people need to bring to light throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area? You can email us, like I said, archcitynow@gmail.com, and we can do that as well. Pro Joe, did we miss anything today? I'm trying to remember. I tried to keep all of my notes. We always end the show reviewing everything that we did because we know people are coming in at different times throughout the day. But also, I want to make sure I didn't miss anything.
No, I think we hit on everything, man. Everything that you sent.
All right. I was giving you a chance to check.
Oh.
Check videos, check pictures, check graphics, all the above, all of those things that are happening when it comes to what we've been trying to cover. Once again, thank you for supporting us. Thank you for supporting St. Louis. We love doing this show. We're going to continue to do everything that we can to promote St. Louis, St. Louis Metro, and that includes everywhere. that is everywhere in West County, to South County, North County, you name it, we do it. If something's happening, we'll promote it in your neck of the woods as well. And of course, if you want to get your opinion said, you can jump in our chat line, Arch City Now. Once again, you can jump in on X and YouTube as well. We'll be back tomorrow. Coming up on today's show as well, you've got Hot Take Central 2.0 from 8 to 10 a.m. They're here Monday through Friday as well with Cardinals broadcaster Jim the Cat Hayes and, of course, Cam Jansen, the former St. Louis Blues. So we're grateful you're with us. Go Cardinals today. You guys take care of business. They have a chance to win 3 out of 4 against the Cubs, pull back to within 2.5 games. Yes, it'll be hot, but at the same point in time, it could always be worse, right? Right?
Absolutely.
I think it can always be worse. And like and subscribe our show. Let people know what we're doing. We spend 2 hours. We put time into it. We just want to make sure we're doing everything the best way we can to promote you guys, to promote St. Louis, and to promote all the events that are happening around town. And of course, more interviews coming. We'll be covering, if there's something in your niche, something in your life that you may think that, oh, we don't want to cover that. Yes, you can. And that's why we're taking the time to make sure you guys understand. Let us know. We want to promote anything and everything, Louis. So I'll see you guys on Monday. Tony Patrico and Projo will be here tomorrow. We are the Lou Information Station. We're always live and on demand at louinfo.com. That does it for Arch City Now.
Wood River, St. Louis.
U.S.